Hello YouTubers, this is Cessna Ace back again with another video. This video relates to NES Homebrews. Yay! Yesterday I had recorded a video where I showed a number of Atari 2600 and Atari 7800 homebrews that I had received but not yet shown. But the graphics card in my computer decided to use that video as a chance to act up. So there were parts of that video that were too choppy for me to upload, and in fact I deleted that video from my computer. As it turns out, it's a blessing in disguise because I have ordered more Atari 2600 and Atari 7800 homebrews. They are already on their way to me. So when they come, I will either do a video or two videos because I'm getting quite a collection of homebrews for those two systems I haven't yet shown. Now on to the homebrews that I have received for the NES. The first one is a sequel to a homebrew that was really, really hard. What am I talking about? It still is really, really hard. This game is called Battle Kid 2. Mountain of Torment. And as far as the first game is concerned, Torment is right because that game is really, really tough. It will kill you. It will kill you often. It will kill you with pleasure. I'm going to push into my $100 web camera with the flaky autofocus. See if I can show you the screenshots that are on the back. Now, the way I found out about the first game, right after it had come out, a friend of mine over in the UK, Guru Larry, aka Larry Bundy Jr., that's the actual name of his channel, Larry Bundy Jr., the YouTuber formerly known as Screwtack Europe. There's somebody else that's Screwtack Europe. Now, anyway, Larry sent me a email, and he stated he knows I'm a big fan of the homebrew games. I'm a big supporter of the homebrew community. I feel that the best way to support the homebrew community is to buy homebrews. Anyway, he said there was a homebrew for the NES that he had done the artwork on, and he was busy working on the artwork for the revised version, and if I wanted the original version, I'd better hurry up and order it from Retrozone because he didn't know how many copies there were still left available, but probably not many. So I raced over to Retrozone, and it was still available, and I ordered it and received it. And as is typically the case for me, before I did a video on it, I went back to Retrozone to check on the availability, and it was no longer available. Some time passed, and I don't remember if Larry sent me a second email or I badgered him and he sent me an email when it was available again, but he did. And so I went to Retrozone and I ordered the revised version of Battle Kid Fortress of Peril. And he had told me originally that the Battle Kid series is kind of like the Mega Man series. In fact, it's designed to be like the Mega Man series, except much, much harder. And when he said that, he wasn't kidding. The first game, anyway, will eat you alive. And then throw you up and eat you again. And again. And again. Over and over. And I hope that imagery wasn't too disgusting. Anyway, as I believe I mentioned, I have both versions of Battle Kid Fortress of Peril. If there's been a third version, I'm not aware of it. The most common version is the second version, version 1.100. That game is hard. In fact, I found it impossible to beat. I may live the rest of my life and never beat it. Now, if you have some kind of unknown alchemy, you know how to finish that game. Then if I were wearing a hat, I would take it off and tip it to you, because that is a major achievement if you finish that game. Unless you have the first version, which, as I mentioned, I also have, version 1.000, as opposed to 1.100. 1.000, what makes it a little easier is, if you don't do anything, it's as hard as the revised version. But the first version had cheats in it, although I couldn't get Larry to tell me where they were or what they were. But he said there are cheats in that game, and those cheats allow you to make your character invincible. And so those cheats were taken out for the revised version. I don't know how common version 1.000 is. I just know that it's most probably a lot less common than version 1.100, because that's the version that has been perpetually available since, off and on, as stock permits. After I received this package on both these games, I went to Retrozone before doing this video. You want to know what? They're both out of stock. So again, placed an order with them, received the order, went to their website to double check to make sure they were still available, and they weren't. But they have added links now to the bottom of the unavailables, that if you click that, you will be notified by email when new stock comes in. So that's cool. Now, some of you might be saying, well, how much is this? And by the way, cool box, because the original Battle Kid Fortress of Peril didn't have a box. It didn't even have a manual. Version 1.100 did have a manual, but it didn't have a box. However, several people on YouTube took to designing their own boxes and making them. Luke Morris One, who's a friend of mine, he lives in Japan, he had recommended someone, and I promptly forgot who it was. So Luke, if you see this video, remind me who it was, because I want a box for that game. This game is available two ways: loose or boxed and sealed for extra money. Now, the loose version is $36. If you want a sealed boxed version with a manual, that's going to run you an extra $9. So if I do my math correctly, that's $45. As is commonly the case with Retrozone, all the cartridges are brand new. They don't use donor cartridges. All the boards are new. Everything made in the US of A. They're made to be compatible with all NES systems and clones. NTSC PAL A or PAL B. They have been tested on such. They haven't been tested on portables, but their website says that they should be compatible with the portables. Nor have they tested them on a Famicom using the 32 to 60 pin adapter. But they say that should work on these games should work on a Famicom with the pin adapter. Now, I don't remember which game it is, this one or the next one, but one of them comes with a 36-page manual. Now, what I'm probably going to wind up doing is keeping these sealed, and then when they become available again, order loose copies, and I'll play the loose copies and keep these sealed. Okay, well, I hear you ask, well, what is the other game that you bought? This is from Gradual Games. Nomalos, Storming the Castle. And cat, the cat part of castle, is underlined. If you see the cover well enough, you can see why. Oh, look, cats. For some reason, this game costs less than this one did. This was 36 loose, an additional 9 for a sealed box. This one was, if I remember correctly, 33. Might have been 32. But anyway, an extra $9 for a sealed box. So, as was the case, or as is the case with this one, I will eventually order a loose copy when it becomes available again, and I will order a loose copy for me to play and then keep these sealed copies. Cartridges and boxes both say on them, well, I'm going by the artwork on the website for the cartridges, but made in USA. It says on the back of this one. It doesn't say on the back of this one, but it is made in the USA. Was made in the USA. Whatever. They have a lot of homebrews for the NES. And if you click Repros, that section is reserved for reproductions of homebrews that they had offered and then were no longer offering, and then they began offering them as repros. They are now offering reproductions of homebrews for the SNES. So if you collect for the SNES, there's that bit of information out there. I just heard the mailman, so I'm going to go check my mail, because I also recently ordered over $120 worth of CDs and a couple of DVDs. So I need to check my mailbox before somebody else does. Until next time, don't go wasting your emotion. Lay all your love on me. That's all you're going to get, because I don't want to torment you. And I don't want to be sued by ABBA. Until next time, stay awesome.